Hola amigos, what's going on guys? Today I want to speak with you guys about what my routine is for learning and becoming fluent in Brazilian Portuguese by the end of this year. I'm going to break down what my day-to-day routine is. This is something that you guys can be using for your Spanish if that's your goal. If you're interested in Brazilian Portuguese, this might be very useful for you as well. But definitely everything that I'm going to say here in this little breakdown of my routine, you can absolutely 110% apply it to your Spanish. It's just that I'm not learning Spanish. I already know Spanish. And I am trying to become fluent, reach that B2 level, that high intermediate level in Brazilian Portuguese by the end of this year. And I really do think that I'm on the right track. Let's dive in to the breakdown. So my daily routine goes as follows. What I'm doing pretty much in the mornings, I'm getting up at a good time, having my coffee, and what I'm really doing with my Portuguese initially is just a warm-up. And what I try to do with my warm-up is usually it's going to be a little bit of Duolingo. So I do like Duolingo as a tool. I like to use it as a warm-up most of the time. It's not anything that I'm doing religiously because it is a lot of just translation. The thing to know about Duolingo is it's not communicative, really. It's great though for just getting a bunch of words in your head, practice forming some basic sentences, doing some fill in the blanks, some flashcards, things like that. They have a stories feature on there where you can listen to and read stories. I like to read those out loud to myself. Great warm-up. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. After that, what I like to do usually is to do a little bit of listening. And what I usually do as of late is I put on a Netflix series. I'm watching a series called 3%, and it's kind of an accent. I think it's an accent mostly from probably a mix of like Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. And I just listen. I do a lot of listening. Listen. And this is insanely overlooked by most Spanish or any learners of any language, Spanish learners as well. And this is something that you can never do enough of. Even if you think you're doing a lot, you're not doing enough. And that's in my case as well. Like I know today I have not done nearly enough listening, and I'm going to need to do more later or over the weekend. Today's a Friday, I'm recording this. So I do that, and I try to listen for as long as I have available. Like if I have a lot of free time in the morning, I'll do a lot of listening. If I just have a little, I'll do a little. It's fine. But something I do whenever I'm listening is I always put on Brazilian Portuguese subtitles. And I think this is very necessary until like way later down the road when you're way more advanced. You can kind of start turning them off. Completely fine, and it's actually good because it's more of a real world listening scenario. For me, I just put them on because to me it's like you're getting double the input. You're getting the listening input, you're getting the reading input. You're not going to be missing words no matter how fast it is. And another thing I like to do with my listening, and this is like with Netflix series, I like to pause it and I like to do rewinds whenever it's something's interesting to me or I don't understand something. And then what I do is I do this a lot, and you can do this when you're watching by yourself. Pause, try to repeat what you just heard, rewind, listen, pause, repeat what you just heard, and try to sound just like the actors. This is obviously something that most people don't do either. They just listen passively, but try to participate in the show, participate in the movie. Pause, rewind 10 seconds. Netflix has that little 10 seconds rewind button. Boom, go back, repeat, try to sound just like them. It's really hard. It's hard to sound like them because they're natives and you're not. But just try really hard to sound like them. After my listening, what I like to do is usually I'll like carry on with my day, right? I don't have all day just to study Portuguese. What I'm doing now, my third thing is I'm using the Immersion app. And this is kind of like my little secret. I don't talk about this a lot because I don't want everybody to use it. If they would like pay me to get the get the word out about their app, I would talk about it more. But I use it. You can use it on your desktop. You can also use it for the best experience with a Meta Quest headset. It's an app and it's a service. You pay for it. It's not very expensive though in reality. For what you're getting, it's a super great deal. And they have Spanish, Brazilian Portuguese, French, and if you're not an English speaker, they have English. And they have everything from very beginner level to super high level, or not super high level, but like I would say, upper intermediate fluent level that you can like really be practicing at. And the way it works is you go in and you have AI lessons, so you can just practice with an AI avatar, and you're just speaking with them, practicing speaking, practicing doing exercises. You can review flashcards. You can do fill in the blank stuff. But the coolest thing about it is that they have live classes all day long, and you can log in, and in VR, you're having classes with a teacher. And in my experience, the teachers have been very, very good. They're very nice, very attentive. And sometimes you have other students in there, most of the time. Other times you're by yourself. Just depends on kind of the luck of the draw. But I think this is a fantastic tool. But to get the most out of it, you need to invest in a MetaQuest headset. And honestly, I mean, you can get even a MetaQuest 2 right now for a really reasonable price. You buy it used, or a MetaQuest 3, you could get it used now at this point. And you can probably get a decent deal. But it's so much cheaper than buying a plane ticket, paying for language school elsewhere, going to university abroad or something like that. So much cheaper, so much cheaper. So I think it's a great tool, and it's one of my main things that I'm doing right now. The next thing that I'm doing is I'm using the Pimsleur app, and they have this for Spanish as well. The Pimsleur Spanish, Pimsleur Portuguese. And if you guys don't know what this is, it used to be back in the day. It's been around for decades, just an audio program. You'd have to buy the cassettes or the CDs or the MP3s, and you'd have to, buy each level independently. And then the way it works is you listen to a 30-minute lesson, and you're doing a lot of repeat after me, right? Or they're quizzing you. Do you remember how to say X, Y, and Z? And you have to say it. So this is fantastic listening and speaking practice. And now, of course, it's a smartphone app. So it's amazing. It's been updated, and you can do your listening activities while you're walking your dog, washing the dishes, going to the gym, anywhere. But the thing you have to keep in mind is that you're going to be speaking to yourself out loud. So if you're not subconscious about that, do it. It's a great tool. It's one of the best tools ever. You improve your accent. You learn a lot of vocabulary. You improve your grammar, but you're not learning grammar rules. You're just learning kind of intuitively how this is said. Kind of like, it's kind of like you're learning as if you were a baby a little bit, which I think is very good. So that's the fourth thing that I'm doing on a regular, ideally daily basis, ideally. And finally, the fifth thing that I recommend, because I'm doing it and I think that it's a very powerful thing, is you need to be creating your own flashcards. And this can be like paper flashcards or digital, Quizlet, Anki, or just, your own paper. And what I usually do is, and it can be in your case, you're taking private classes with someone, you have a tutor, or maybe you're jotting down words from your listening or whatever, but you need to be taking the words that you're learning, in your actual study life, and putting those down. English on one side, Spanish on the other side, or in my case, English on one side, Portuguese on the other side. What I do is I'm taking the words that I'm learning in my Immerse VR classes, and I'm trying to go through once a day and review those new words, review the old words, because the reality is, if you're not reviewing the new stuff you're learning, you're going to be learning it in the moment and you're totally forgetting about it later on down the road. So just keep that in mind. That's going to happen. You'll have all these words that you've jotted down, but they won't be digested by your brain, if that makes sense. Digested by your brain, absorbed by your brain. So those are the things that I'm doing. So I think anyone can do this. It's honestly a very affordable approach. You do have to pay a little bit of money to do this approach, but it's an investment, right? It's an investment in your skill set and your linguistic abilities, and it really is absolutely going to be making you smarter over the longer haul, because you're having to work. Learning a new language is hard work, man. It's hard work. But once you get over the initial start, when you start out, it's tedious. You get tired. You get kind of bored with it. You're like, gee, am I even making fucking progress here, man? And over time, you do make progress, and you start noticing. Like me today, I really started noticing in one of my classes. I was like, I'm getting better. Honestly, I started getting into this routine back in October, and I took a big break over the holidays, and then I just started getting back into it this month, and I'm locked in. And the last thing that I will say that I'm going to be doing this year or that I have done already, is that I've started to plan a trip to Brazil. And in your case, if you're learning Spanish, it might be you need to plan a trip to Mexico, plan a trip to, whatever it is, Colombia, Maybe not Venezuela right now, but you know, wherever it is, Argentina, Spain. I think this is an important final thing that most people don't do that should do. You need to have that as the motivator, and it also will if your skills are a little lacking, it will kind of scare you a little bit because you're like, dude, I'm doing a solo trip to Brazil. Like, as an American, like, my Portuguese getting off the plane needs to be good, or it's going to be a little intimidating, you know, depending on where I decide to go. It will be like I get off the plane, get my taxi, trying to talk to people, just in a typical, even if it's not like a major city, it's going to be hard, man. There's not a lot of English. So you need to really have good skills, have a good accent, understand your speaking's on point, your listening's on point, I mean. So that will motivate you as well. Motivation really kickstarts this entire process, and it'll get you to do this stuff every day. So if you know, hey man, I'm flying into freaking, you know, Guadalajara in 6 months. Yeah, my Spanish needs to be good, or I'm going to be totally at the mercy of, you know, a hopeful English speaker, right? So keep this in mind. Plan a trip if you can. If you can afford it, plan the trip. It can be 1 week. It could be 1 month. In my case, I think I'm going to try to do a month, which is a lot, but at the same time, it's even more motivation because I'm like, dude, if I'm going to be there that long, you know, I want to be really immersed there. I want to be able to like really get something out of it. So the best way to do that is to arrive already speaking a lot of language, understanding a ton of what I'm hearing. That helps a lot. So you're not having to come back to English, right, and ask for help. You don't want that. You want to be able to negotiate and get more input in the language you're learning. So anyways, that's what I'm doing. It's just my wisdom, my insight. And more than anything, it's just what I'm doing. So if you guys find it interesting, pursue that in Spanish. If you have any suggestions for me, or if you have any questions about what it is that I'm doing, jot them down in the comments below. And again, make sure to follow me over at Levi Flint. You can check out my podcast, The Levi Flint Show, that is going to be... Anyways, guys, that's all we have. I will see you guys in the next video. Muchas gracias. Muito obrigado. Até mais. Bye.